Hello and welcome to LDC CoreTools demonstration video number 2. In this screencast, we will take a more detailed look at the functionality of the teacher workspace, and then we'll explore the features of the module library. For a general introduction to CoreTools, please see demo video number 1 on our website, along with videos for other specific topics. In just one moment, we'll go through the following. First, we'll start with an overview of the teacher workspace page. From there, we will learn how to create a new module from the workspace page in the two different ways available, from a blank template and from a prototype template. Then we'll take a look at the sharing settings and collaboration settings for modules. Lastly, we'll take a look at the way you can copy a module that already exists in your module collection. After that, we'll take a look at the module library. We'll look at the difference between exemplary modules and other public modules that are in the library, and then we'll make a copy of a module in the library that will add it to our collection. So the teacher workspace page has at the very top a button that says create module. This gives us the two options here for creating a new module from scratch. We can either create from blank or we can create from prototype. If I click create from blank, it's going to start a new module for me in the collaborative module designer that is completely blank in every single section. On the other hand, if I click create from prototype, I'm given a few additional options. If I want to load a blank module that comes with some preset LDC prototype skills or some LDC prototype mini tasks, I can do that from this page. This means that it'll load a blank module, but will include some information for me to work from in the instructional plan and the skills section of the module. For example, I could choose the default argumentation module that has prototype skills. This will start a new module for me that has all of the prototype skills preloaded for me that I can edit or I can just use as is. Otherwise, I can load one that has the default argumentation skills and default argumentation mini tasks. So if I click create from prototype after selecting that, it'll load me a completely blank module, except I do scroll down here to sections 2 and 3, what skills and what instruction. And I see, first of all, that a bunch of skills are already loaded for me here. These are all skills that I can still edit if I want to change them or rearrange them or delete them. But also, we see here that there are already mini tasks loaded here as well. Once again, these are mini tasks that I do have the capacity to go ahead and edit and make changes to. Either way, a prototype LDC module template gives a teacher something to build from instead of a completely blank module. So let's go back to my workspace page now and think a little bit about the different ways in which we can share modules and how it might apply to our practice. So the modules we see in the center are modules that I have viewing or editing or commenting privileges on. So let's see what I can do in terms of how I might share these with my colleagues. So I'm going to go down here to this particular module, and when I hover over it, a collaboration button appears, and when I click it, I can see my collaboration settings here. So let's add a few of my colleagues onto this module. I can choose someone's name if I know that they're an LDC CoreTools user, and over here I decide what kind of privileges I want to give them. I'll start by giving my colleague editing privileges. I'll come back to the collaboration settings and I can see that her name is listed here as an editor. I'm going to add somebody else as well. This time I'm only going to give this person commenting privileges. And one more time, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give my colleague just viewing privileges. Now, when I look at this one more time and I see the list of my colleagues who all now have access to this module, this means the module will appear in their My Module collection as well, but they'll only be able to do the function that is listed here. They can either only view, only comment, or they can be an editor as well. Now, this does not impact the byline of the module. I have to add them as an author for their name to show up as an author of the module. The reason I may not add everybody as an author to my module, even if they can edit, is because it's possible that they're a coach or they serve some other role in my LDC work where they aren't necessarily a teacher author of the module, but just someone who I collaborate with and who supports me in the development of the module. So if I take a look at that module really quickly, we can see here that now instead of just having my own name on the byline for the module, I have my colleagues' names listed as well. And this module now appears in their collections and they can either view, edit, or comment. So let's take one quick look at a few modules that are shared with me. This module is shared with me from a colleague who has only given me the ability to view. So I can see his module, but I'm not able to edit anything. There's not a single place throughout the module where I can click and make changes to the work that he has done, but I can access every part of the module and all the resources that are a part of it, including downloadable attachments. Here's a different module that my colleague has shared with me, and they have not given me editing access either, but they have given me the ability to leave comments. So I'm able to come in here and leave sample comments throughout the module, even though I can't edit the module itself. If I go back to the module that I only have viewing capabilities on, if I click comment and try to type in a sample, the system tells me that my comment will not be saved because I do not have those privileges. So let's go back to my module collection one more time, and we're going to see about making a copy of a module that's already in my collection. So for this module, I just hover over it, I click the copy button, I click create copy, and it loads in the collaborative module designer, that module. This is the new copy of it. Every single part of the module has been replicated here. Maybe I'll start by making a change to it. So I can see that reflected in my module library. And it appears right here. So someone might want to do this for version control. I might have a module I've already built, but now I want to make a second copy of it where I want to make some adjustments in a way that I'm going to teach it differently next time. Okay, so now that we're done looking at the functionality of the My Teacher workspace, let's take a look at the module library. So I'm going to go up to the top and I click Module Library. And when I'm brought into the module library, what I have over on the left side are some ways in which I can search this. Now the module library is going to include any module that is publicly shared by other users in the LDC CoreTools system. To show you what that means, let's take a look one more time at my workspace at one of my own modules. So if I decide in my collaboration settings, instead of sharing it just with specific users, I can click here to share it with anybody. This adds it to the public LDC module library. And I can copy this hyperlink here and send it to my colleagues and allow them to get access to it. Now, any module that I add to the public module library, you're only able to view that module. Other users will not have the ability to edit my module, even if they have the hyperlink. So back to the module library, any module that is public will appear here and is searchable. It's searchable by grade level, by writing type, and by discipline, or I can do a free text search up here to search for particular modules. And down here, really importantly, is the exemplary tag or filter. I can toggle this to decide whether I want to see exemplary modules or all public modules. The module library defaults to only show me LDC exemplary modules. These are modules that have gone through the full jurying process nationally. I can filter off, and now every single module in the entire CoreTools system that other teachers have shared publicly will appear here, and I can open them and I can view them. However, if I only want to see the exemplary modules, I toggle it back this way, and now I know I'm seeing modules that have gone through a very rigorous vetting process. So what happens in the module library is if I decide I find a module that is shared publicly, whether it's exemplary or not, and I decide I want to make a copy of it and add it to my own collection so I can create a new module of my own from this work, I can do it. So the way I do that is I open up the module. So I'll open up this Alexander the Great module. And when it opens it, as you see, of course, I'm not able to edit. I'm not able to comment. But what I can do is go to the module settings and make a copy. So when I click create a copy this time, it copies that module into my library. And you can see right away I'm able to edit. So let's make sure that after I save a new title, that it shows up in my collection. So let's finish up by going to my workspace. And when we're in here, let's sort our modules alphabetically, and I see up here that copy of a module I took from the module library. So that's a basic overview of both how the teacher workspace and the module library work. Thanks for watching.